where in the world are you right now? And yeah, whatever else you want to say. If you want to tell us why you're here as well, that's awesome. I am here in Berlin. It is already dark. Quite sad. Jeremy in Berlin. Welcome. Estefania from Spain. Natasha from Scotland. Welcome. Europe in the house. Kat in BC. Misty in Georgia. Hello. Azur in the UK. Portugal. Tabia. Yeah, so we're only here 20 minutes. We will get started right now. Hello from Prague. If you join for those of you asking about, Gary asked about the recording, I will send it to everyone who's subscribed to my newsletter. You can find that through the link on my bio on Instagram, monogamish.substack.com. I will send it out to everyone who is subscribed. It's free to subscribe to my newsletter. So just if you can't stay the whole time, go ahead and do that. Hello from Argentina, Toronto. Awesome. Okay, so I think I'll give it like 30 more seconds and then we'll start going. Hello, Chris. Mark found my reel this morning in Chicago and it resonated. It's good to know. Hey, from the Netherlands, Gemma. Cool. And then Alberta. So Canadians, Europeans. Estefania says she's here they're here because they have two partners and want to enjoy with more people. Nice. Awesome. And Bonnie from California. Thanks for joining us so early in the morning. Hi, Tomas. I'm assuming it's pronounced from Germany. Okay, I'm going to pull up the slides now. 1 minute. And so let's get out of these 20 minutes as much as we can. Can you all see that over there? Can you just let me know if you can't see the slides? Or can't. Coming through fine, says Mark. Thanks, Mark. All right, awesome. So you're all here because you resonate with this question. Do you feel guilty for wanting to date others while partnered? And I'm giving this presentation because I have felt this way many times through many phases of my non-monogamous journey. I just want you to know, first of all, you're not alone, that this is normal, that there's a lot of forces in this world that are out to make you feel that relationships are supposed to be between two people and two people alone. And I'm not just talking about religion. Obviously, that's a huge force that has totally changed the way that our culture is and formed the way the culture is that most of you are in right now. But I'm also talking about capitalism, talking about the idea that excitement and novelty and adventure comes from eating at that nice new restaurant or going on a fancy vacation or buying the new sex toy or experiencing a cronut. These are all the forces in the world. There are a lot of forces in the world that are telling you that excitement and enjoyment and fun and adventure comes from taking out your wallet. But really, the most fulfilling and deep and long-term excitement and adventure comes from our connection with other people. It comes from sexuality. It comes from deep talks. It comes from doing something new with a new person or with someone you've been seeing for a long time. It comes from love. And you know what? That's free. It's free. It's free to experience this kind of excitement in your life. You don't need to take out your wallet to do that. And it's such a shame that so many people feel that they have to limit their connections with other people based on just the way that we do things in our culture. And so that's what I want to communicate to you. This is possible to have this freedom and adventure in your life and still have loving, committed relationships with people long term. So yeah, does that resonate with some of you? Are you excited? Is this something that you want? Feel free to write in the chat. This is going to be interactive. We're going to be very quick, 20 minutes, but just want to, yes. So Frey, yes. Awesome. So just a quick introduction. I think a lot of you probably know me to some degree, but my mission is to create a world where people have the confidence to pursue whatever romantic life it is that they want, whether that is non-monogamy, monogamy, that they have the confidence, the tools, the education to choose what is best for them based on their needs. I'm also a coach, a writer, and a speaker. I live in Berlin. I'm from New York, and I've been exploring non-monogamy for the past 7.5 years. So what we'll cover today, basically, why you might feel guilt in the first place. So you're here because you feel some sort of guilt or discomfort at the thought of dating other people. And then what can you do about it? What steps can we take to resolve those feelings within us? And I just want to ask as well that, we're only here for 20 minutes, so be here. Click out of all the other tabs on your computer. I know you have some open, and just be here for 20 minutes. It's not even now. Now we've already elapsed like 4 of those minutes. So just be with me. Hello, Justin from Memphis and Divya. Yes, I can tell you more about that sometime. Okay, so what is guilt? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt. Okay. What is guilt? So first I want to distinguish between guilt versus shame. So guilt comes from the negative feelings or discomfort that we have when we do something that we think has hurt another person. This is evolutionarily advantageous. It's good that we feel uncomfortable when we think we've hurt someone else. Otherwise, we won't experience empathy. And then we need to distinguish that from shame. Shame is when we feel negative emotions for thinking not that we've done something to someone else, but that we ourselves as beings are flawed or broken. So it's important to distinguish which of these are you actually dealing with. It's probably, if you're anything like me, it's probably going to be a mix of the two. And so that's the first step here. And should you feel guilty? Should you feel that your behavior or your desire to see other people is hurting others? It might be. And I think this is really important. You might be in a situation where you are doing something that is triggering pain in another person, and there might be something you can do about it to be more empathetic. So, for example, I'm in my current non-monogamous relationship, which I've been in for the past 4 years or so. Like 2 years ago, I finally met someone. I guess it's been like 3.5 years. 2 years ago, I met someone I really liked, and this is the first time I liked someone outside of my primary relationship. And I remember there was a weekend in the spring where a mutual friend of ours was having a birthday party. And so like the week before the birthday, I told Flo, my partner, hey, there's this birthday, I'm going, it's a friend of mine. And Eric, the guy that I'm seeing and really like, is going to be there. And I thought I was very clear with him. He was actually away that week because a friend of his family, or a close person to his family, had passed away. So he was there for a funeral to support his father. And when he came back, he was not, in the best spirits, and he kind of needed my support. But I was really just set. I was set on this, going to this party, and I was like, okay, whatever happens, like I'm gonna go, and this is my time. It's for me. And I felt a little guilt that weekend, and we ended up like not seeing each other. And I kind of thought he might be mad at me, but I was like, he shouldn't be mad at me. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And then we saw each other that Monday, and he told me he was very really upset and didn't feel supported. And I think it's just important. And the point of that story is just to say that I do think I should have acted on my guilt. I should have not to say that I should have not gone to that party at all, but that I should have at least given him more space to express his need for support and to be there for him. And so I think it's just really important that your pursuit of non-monogamy doesn't mean a pursuit of doing whatever the fuck you want and not considering other people's feelings. Being in a relationship means supporting each other. And so if you feel guilty, listen to that and take it seriously. Okay, now that that's covered, I really wanted to say that. Sometimes that guilt, first of all, I'll just go back, but sometimes that guilt is you think you're hurting someone, but maybe you're not. And it's really complicated. And it's not something we can figure out right here on this call. But I just wanted to, I think you get the point. Now there's shame. This is another part of the whole picture, which makes your feelings confusing. Most of us feel shame around the idea of dating someone else while partnered because we grew up in a culture where we are told that exclusivity and love go together, meaning if we want to see other people, it means we don't love our partner enough. Or we're not, if we're women, if we want to seek more than one sexual partner, that means we're not valuable or slutty. We're not a good catch. When I was in my last relationship, I tried to pursue non-monogamy with him. From day one, he knew that I wanted to be non-monogamous, like before we even started dating. And so we tried to be non-monogamous together. We actually moved to Germany together. But when, like at first we didn't really act on it. And then eventually I started acting on it. I kissed a guy here, kissed a guy there. But in the end, he was just getting super hurt. He didn't feel good about it. And I felt really guilty. I felt really ashamed of myself. Like, why can't I just be normal? No one in my network, none of my friends were non-monogamous. All of them were in monogamous relationships, at least on the surface. I had heard of some people cheating here and there, but everyone was, officially monogamous. My family, like I mentioned non-monogamy to my mom, and she scolded me for even thinking of the idea. All his friends were monogamous. So I just imagine them shaking their heads at me like, I can't believe you're with this girl. Like, what, like, get someone better than her. And this is that's not about guilt. That's about shame. That's about feeling like I felt like I was broken for a lot of my life because I always struggled in long-term long-term monogamous relationships. And so think about how shame factors in to the feelings that you're feeling too. And sex negativity as well. And this is all makes pursuing this lifestyle harder. But know that polyamory is not a privilege your partner extends to you. So in the book More Than Two, which I highly recommend, Vo and Rickert say this, and basically I think a lot of us go into this thinking monogamy is where we all have to start. This is the starting point, and anything else we want in our relationship, any other freedom we want in our relationship is we have to fight for that. But really, your partner, anyone you come in contact with, has the right to be monogamous, and you have the right to be polyamorous or non-monogamous. No one is more entitled to either one. So, I mean, it's one thing if you've agreed on monogamy first, then obviously, that's a bit different. But going into any new relationship, don't go in with the mindset that you have to work from monogamy outward. You work from your needs outward, and your partner works from their needs outward, and you collaborate. And I'll touch on that in a second. Yeah. So what can you do about it? So you have these feelings of shame and guilt. You want to be non-monogamous. Maybe your partner is not so keen on it, or maybe you just want it and you're feeling all this guilt and shame without even having someone on the other side of that who tells you they want something different, which I've seen as well. The most important thing is to identify your needs. Why is this important to you? What feelings do you feel right now around being monogamous? So, do you feel frustrated? Do you feel stuck? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel suffocated? And think about the needs that are not being fulfilled here. So if you Google feelings and needs inventory, you can find needs and feelings. And this is related to nonviolent communication, which I don't have time to get into. But there's a lot of needs that are related to the long-term satisfaction that you can have in your life that are related to non-monogamy. So connection, variety, spontaneity, freedom, independence, all of these are very valid, beautiful needs that we as humans share. And one way that you can access these types of feelings and in your life is through non-monogamy. So believe that these needs are valid and worth honoring. Believe that. And create the boundaries that are necessary to protect your needs. So think about really specifically. So once you've identified your needs, think really specifically, what are must-haves for me in my relationship? Is it that you can go out and flirt with other people, have one-night stands? Is it that you can connect with them on a more emotional level and have long-term partnerships? Which of those things are must-haves, which are nice-to-haves, and what's the time limit on them? So for me, at first, when I was first started exploring with my partner, we were both actually quite new to it, in the sense that neither of us had been in a long-term relationship where we were like really actively practicing non-monogamy. He was more comfortable with just having one-night stands. For me, that was okay in the as long as it wasn't like forever and always. I was definitely okay trying that. So we had the agreement that we'd just have kind of casual one-night stands, but that we'd always talk about it. We can always come back to this conversation. And now it's developed into something different. But you can also say, hey, this is going to be good for me for like a year, but after a year, I want something, I'm going to want something more, but I can, like, until you feel good about this, or until you settle into this, I can pause actually seeing someone more than once for a year, whatever it is. Bring this to your relationship and collaborate based on each other's needs. And if you can agree, test it in real life and iterate. And also just listen to your partner's needs too. And again, we can go into nonviolent communication is really important way to have these conversations. I recommend that book as well. Or you have to make the tough decision and let go. There's a good chance that you can't find a middle ground, that there isn't. I think a lot of people are in a place right now where the person they're with is like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. My boyfriend who I moved to Berlin with, who I told you about briefly before, who was struggling with non-monogamy, we did eventually, I played with it a bit. He was hurt. I didn't feel like I had any legs to stand on. And then eventually, for certain reasons, so I paused being non-monogamous, and then I started dating people again while we were together with his permission, let's say. And what happened was I met someone I liked, and we started dating, but not super regularly. But my partner was just so hurt. He didn't understand why I wanted this or why I needed this. And he felt like it was an attack on him and his self-worth. And I tried to reassure him, and I tried to hold back a bit, but he wanted to limit me more. And I just didn't really see the end of this. I couldn't live with him and just see him in pain. And it really did help that I met someone that I liked. That definitely allowed me to feel more encouraged to take the step. But I really loved my partner. I really loved living with him. I loved him like crazy. But I decided we needed to break up. I decided that the life that I want to live is not the life that he wants to live, and that we'd both be better off going our separate ways. And now I am in a relationship with this Flo. This is Flo, and yeah, we're at a festival this summer. I am pregnant, and that is a picture of a little baby in my stomach because you can't tell I'm pregnant. I wanted to make it very clear for fun. And we're living our life, our non-monogamous, adventurous life together. And I'm really happy. We're both really happy exploring this. And it's not always easy, but we're doing it. It's great. Okay, so I have a question for you. What if you could identify what you really wanted out of your romantic life? You could feel confident about what that is and that it's beautiful and that you don't need to hide that. If you could commit yourself to pursuing it and you could communicate what you wanted to the people in your life that you love with grace and efficacy. If you could do all of those things, do you think you could have the romantic life you truly wanted? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that you can do this? Gemma says, I think so. Okay. Willow, yes. Awesome. And are you serious, Ashton? Yes. Are you serious about making a change in your real life? Are you serious about taking the steps to get to that more adventurous, free, independent, fulfilling, fun life that you want? It's a lot of work. Afraid of you losing my partner. It excites you and scares me. Awesome. So I want to make this offer to you, and it's one-on-one coaching with me. I'm just going to put this in the offer slides chat of the chat tab of the chat, and basically I want to get you to a place where you are craving more connection. You're craving openness. You're feeling stuck, like you're missing out. You feel maybe ashamed or guilty of wanting what you want, and you're afraid of the judgment of people around you. And I want to take you to a place where you feel confident in your new path to openness. You're able to set boundaries for yourself, internal and external, in an ethical way. You're learning about yourself in the process and connecting with new people, and you're fucking alive. That's what I want to take you to in 3 months of working together. You are not stuck. And if you're interested in this, if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, you can apply for a free 15-minute fit call with me here on the right to get started. You just click the button, apply now, fill out the short form. If I think there's a good chance we would be a match and I could really help you, then I will reach out to you to schedule a call with me, and then we'll go from there. So this is for anyone, all ages, all genders and orientations. Polyamorous, if you're now polyamorous and you just want more, if you're monogamous and you want to step into polyamory or non-monogamy, this is also for you. And what's also really important is that you're ready to think outside the box and take action in your life. Not if you're not ready, if you think that it's too soon for you, that's okay. This is then maybe another time. This is for people who are ready to actually take action in your life. You only have one life to live. And you're ready to be honest with the people that you love. I'm not here to help people cheat. I'm only here for people who want to live in their truth. And that's part of what is so exciting about this. One of my clients, Leah, says that, what does it like to work with me? It's challenging, it's fiery, it's empowering, and it's worth every minute. April says this really started the healing of her heart and brought in so much joy and opportunity for her. A lot of people don't want to stay anonymous, as you might understand. But I'm here to help you have that support, because this is really hard. It's hard to, in the face of all these messages that we've been bred into our minds of our friends and family, people who just don't get it. It's hard to do that alone. I know from my experience. So I'm here to support you to a life that is more open and free and independent that you want, if that is what you want. So yeah, all you have to do is apply to the call if you're interested in this, and I'll get back to you in the next couple of days if I feel it's a good match. I'm only working with a few people, so, and I want to start like 3 people next month. So, yeah, and I only do one-on-one. Fred asks, is it better to apply alone or with my partner? I'm only doing one-on-one, one-on-one coaching right now. So alone is the short answer. Awesome. Any questions? Anyone? It's already been 25 minutes now, so feel free to get off the call at this point. But I hope to see some of you apply for the 15-minute call and meet some of you and help you get to this place of freedom and connection that I talked about. Okay. And now there are a few questions here, and maybe I'll try to get to a few of them. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you everyone for coming. Yeah, JK says in the rave Burning Man community. I was actually at a burn in one of those pictures. If you want the replay, just remember you can apply it. You can sign up for my newsletter, monogamish.substack.com, and you'll get it. And yeah, just keep in touch there. I'm doing webinars all the time. If you just like this this format to learn different topics, some that I touched on here in more depth as well, then you can also get notified about webinars coming up and all that good stuff. So I'm ready. I'm excited to work with people who are ready to make change in their life. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you on the internets. Bye, everybody.